Sero survey reveals only 23.48% of the people are affected by coronavirus in Delhi, which has several pockets of dense population. For all the 11 districts of Delhi, survey teams were formed. Blood samples were collected from select individuals. The tests done had helped in identification of the presence of antibodies in the general population. The study also indicates that a large number of infected persons remained asymptomatic. So that's the information coming in here on Mirror Now. Big breaking news on the data that is now being shared after the serological survey conducted in Delhi. This data tells us that 23.48% of the people are affected by coronavirus in Delhi, a little short of 1/4 of the population. 23.48% of the people in the national capital are affected by coronavirus, which includes several pockets of dense population. For all the districts of Delhi, these survey teams were, for all 11 districts, in fact, the survey teams were formed. They went about collecting blood samples from select individuals, and then this entire survey was conducted on the level and extent of the spread of the virus. This particular serological survey has come out with its data that indicate 23.48% of the people in the national capital are impacted and affected by the coronavirus. The tests done helped in identification of the presence of antibodies in the general population. The study also indicates that a large number of infected persons remain asymptomatic. Dr. Sanjeev Bagai is with me on the phone line to give us more clarity on this. Dr. Bagai, good afternoon. Thanks for joining us on Mirror Now. So this is information that we have accessed on the data shared by the serological survey. But when we say 23.48% of the population in Delhi affected, what does it mean? Are they infected and asymptomatic, and therefore the actual numbers thrown up by the government sources on COVID positive is very different?
Yeah, the real issue with serotesting is that for viewers to understand that serotesting means it's a community-based surveillance program, which is based on the antibody titers which we pick up. Normally, it is done through an ELISA test, and the ELISA test has a window of effectivity and positivity. That means your ELISA test generally come positive after 7 to 10 days of being exposed to the infection. We also know that the antibodies remain in the body only for a limited period of time and very few remain after a period of 45 to 60 days. So the timing of the test is important. We also know that the ELISA tests which are being used, barring a few, are not 100% sensitive and specific. So it is the timing of the test, it is the sensitivity of the test. That means what is your chance of picking up all the real positives. I think over a period of time, more and more people in a community are going to get exposed to it, and we will develop sort of innate immunity towards it. May not be a herd immunity immediately, but we will have some sort of immunity. Right. Also, there is a basis of a T-cell response, which is innate immunity, which is your cell-based immunity, which is also giving a fair bit of protection, almost 60% protection against COVID in people who have not even been exposed to COVID infection.
Okay, that's very interesting, Dr. Bagai. Stay with us. My colleague Ayushman Kumar is tracking the COVID status in the national capital for us. Ayushman, I want to bring you in on this because when we say 23.48%, let's say roughly about 1/4 to 1/5 of the population impacted and affected. We are not saying infected really, but this is the kind of population that have come under the exposure. Would that be a correct way of looking at it? What does the serological survey give us in terms of concrete information about the national capital and its battle against COVID-19?
Well, Frida, if you see the data which has been given out by the health ministry currently, if you see, it has been said that it has happened on in every district. All 11 districts were done, and more than 21,000 samples were collected, and antibody presence was seen in more than 23% of the population. Now, if you tabulate this data, Frida, with the total population of the national capital right now, it is having the
Yes.
national capital has a population of over 2 crore, and currently if you add that data, it clearly comes around more than 40 lakh people have in fact because it's a survey, it tells you the prevalence of the virus, and if you go through this data and tabulate in terms of whole percentage, it shows
Okay.
you that more than 40 lakh people in the national capital have developed IgG, which is immunoglobulin G, which our body prepares after the body gets infected with coronavirus. So this clearly means that about more than 40 lakh people in the national capital have developed antibodies of COVID. And currently, this was the survey which was done between 27th of June to 10th of July. And if you see the number of 10th of July, in the national capital, we had around 1 lakh cases, 1,09,000 cases. And at that population, if you see the predominantly what the health ministry is
Yes.
saying, that most people were asymptomatic. So the symptomatic conditions were found only in about 1,09,000 people. So out of every 42 to 43%, one person who was having COVID infection was caught. And this is what this data means, Afrida.
Right. Dr. Baga, if I can bring you in on this for further clarity on should we treat this then as good news? Because what you also were trying to explain to us, I think, is that it means that a lot of people may have been exposed, but they are showing signs of being immune to it. How do we read this data, Dr. Bagai?
Yeah. Just very quickly to make all the non-medical viewers understand that worldwide data has shown approximately 45 to 60% of the population to be an asymptomatic carrier amongst the complete cohort of people who probably have come in contact. So many of them do not actually manifest with full-blown symptoms. So the asymptomatic group we know are as vulnerable because they can carry an equal load of viral infection, and they are equally as potential candidates to transmit this infection further. So the serosurveillance worldwide is the only clinical parameter to give you insights into community-based transmission and to identify clinical modes of containment, isolation, testing, and quarantine. So I think all these phases are extremely important, and serosurveillance is one of the reasons in Delhi where we've been able to catch and get a grip of the situation. And it's extremely important that all states, what Delhi has done, all states follow this, because this is the most critical part of our journey of fighting this COVID.
Absolutely. And Dr. Bagai, again, on that point that you made, it's very critical to understand that on one hand, yes, it's good to see that a lot of people are not manifesting symptoms, but that does not mean that the spread of the virus will be contained because they continue to be carriers. Now, there has been some amount of, difference in opinion around this, whether asymptomatic patients can be carriers or not. What is your position on this, Dr. Bagai?
Actually, there is no ambiguity in this at all. There is worldwide data which has been published in numerous journals, including Science, including Scientific America, including Lancet, including New England Journal of Medicine, that the pre-symptomatic and the asymptomatic carriers are equally responsible to transmit this infection. There is a very nice article which has been written in Annals of Internal Medicine, which has clearly mentioned that one asymptomatic carrier, which is left unattended in the community, who does not wear a mask, can infect up to 217 people in his neighborhood and community within a period of 2 weeks. That's the effectivity period. So it is extremely important to get a hold of the asymptomatic carriers. This actually also gives a surveillance mode to see what your contact tracing parameters would be. So I think this is extremely important and a very judicious step taken by the Delhi government which has actually been largely been able to contain the infection. And if you see the graph of at least Delhi, it has marginally started coming down. So perhaps we've already hit the peak, and we are now slightly on the downslope as far as the active infection and mortality is concerned.
Absolutely. So an asymptomatic person who's infected would also be required to be isolated, and those steps can only be taken if you have data from a serological survey of this nature, which gives you an understanding of the quantum of population who are possibly infected but asymptomatic. Thanks for joining us, Dr. Bagai, and thanks for giving us all the latest inputs, Ayushman, on this big story. We're taking a short break here. News and updates continue on the other side. Stay with us.